and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross. What's that mean, preacher? That means you're guilty. That means you've been judged and found guilty. That means we deserve hell. That means I did. I worked hard to go to hell. I deserved it. But the sentence of my hell.
The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
When every second counts, count on Vital Care MedTrans. You do have a choice when it comes to ambulance service in this area. So when you call 911, ask for the best.
Wait a minute, are you Vital Care?
Yes, we are.
Good.
State-of-the-art equipment and a well-trained staff who stand ready to respond to your call. That's Vital Care MedTrans, when nothing but the best will do.
Are we on, Honeybee? Thank you, Honeybee. Appreciate you. Folks, welcome to the show tonight. Appreciate our sponsors down at Vital Care. Bob, I was reading on WLAF's website today. There was 6 or 7 ambulance calls in a row last night. I'd say both services were pretty busy last night.
They were.
You know, there's the Lifestar. I was out of town last night, but it must have been crazy around here. I don't know what went on.
I don't know either.
You know, but you know, if you read WLAF, there was at least 6 or 7 accidents in a short time, and I know Vital Care was hopping, Lifestar was hopping. I assume Campbell County's ambulance service was going. So, folks, if you need ambulance service, when you call 911, ask for Vital Care. Then, when you get out of the hospital, stop down by Riggs Drugs, and you all can take care of their prescription needs, can't you, Bob?
We will certainly try.
But hey, I've been down there. It's like a well-oiled machine watching that prescription thing go through there. They got it handled, folks. So, but anyway, we got Mr. Fannin here. Appreciate you coming, Bob. Bob's got an announcement, and we're going to probably have a question and answer back and forth just a little bit. Hold your calls for a few minutes. We are going to take some calls, you know, and try to stay on topic. Okay, and he is willing to discuss some of the city of La Follette issues.
Sure. Yeah, it was. I thought that might be where the ambulance was going last night. Okay.
Once I read that article, like I said, I was out of town last night, and I read that article about the meeting. I thought the same thing, Bob. I thought maybe they needed some ambulance service down there, and I'm sure Jeff and John Bond was on standby right down there because they're right close to the city hall. So, but anyway, folks, pay attention, and we got Bob's going to make an important announcement, and we're ready to go.
Okay, a lot of you may know who I am. I'm Bob Fannin. I own Riggs Drug Stores here in La Follette, and or part owner, president of Riggs Drug Store. My brother is along with that. Better leave brother Bill in there. Been here been part of this community since 1971. Been on city council since 1996, exception for 2 years. And I'm announcing that I'm going to be running for state representative of the 36th district this November. And that's my announcement that I filed today, and we're excited. My wife and I are excited, Rita. We're excited to make this announcement. Through the years, I've seen some things go through, especially with health care, jobs, education, that could be fixed and just is not getting fixed at the local level or at the state level.
Yeah, and just some common sense stuff.
Common sense stuff
that just is not happening. And I've said this, and I'm trying not to. I'm not going to put Bob on the spot about it, but I've said this, folks. I've been saying it for a 3 years now. The representation we have at this point in time is just not doing anything for us. Okay, I'm telling you right now. We've discussed it. Bob's a Democrat.
I'm a Democrat.
I'm a Republican. But in this situation, I'm supporting Bob 100%.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm behind Bob. We don't agree on national politics a lot. We know that. We talked about that. But I think, this is my opinion, I think what's good for Campbell County, I think this man is the best choice for what's good for Campbell County and getting some things done for Campbell County, because Bob's going to go down there. To me, this is my opinion, folks, he's got a great chance of sitting there because he don't owe anybody anything. He's not going to be beholden to anybody for anything.
No.
He's going to be beholden to Campbell County, a little bit of Union County, a little bit of Anderson County.
All of Union County.
Is it all of Union
Yes,
County?
all
I thought it was just part of it.
No.
It's all of it. Okay, I thought it was just part of it, so I didn't realize that.
Okay.
So, you know, you know, that's the folks that Bob would be beholden to, and who he's down there working for, not down there working for the party like our current representative, my opinion, is doing.
I will give you my word that every morning I wake up thinking about the 36th district and the 36th district only. If there's a vote that will help the 36th district, but no other district in the state of Tennessee, I will still represent you. That's what I'm down there for. I'm not here to tell you my personal views on the state side of something in Memphis, or the United States side, or the public presidential, or anything like that. I am what my father taught me to be, a Southern Democrat. I'm a very conservative Southern Democrat. And as you get older,
Yeah,
you get more and more conservative.
you get more conservative. I know what you mean there.
And I will be a 67-year-old freshman state representative.
You ain't heard freshman in a long time, have you?
when I'm elected.
Yeah.
But I will serve each and every one of you. You know, a lot of you have problems that need to be solved. To a lot of people, it may not sound big, but
Right.
to you, it sounds big. It is big.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I will listen to your problems and do what I can for you. You know, I'm just one of 99 people in the House. But I will promise you that I will do everything I can do to assist Campbell County and Union County and part of Anderson County and all the people that lives in that area. I'm very concerned about jobs. The unemployment for Tennessee went down in the last 2 years. The unemployment for Campbell and Union County has gone up.
That's a problem.
Health care. We've had opportunities to get Insure Tennessee. Insure Tennessee is not a giveaway program, but it's 100% free. 31 states, including Ohio, who a person is running for president, including Kentucky, we've got a person did run for president, including Wisconsin. It is taken, and it has made their states, they have balanced their budget with this.
Okay.
And I've got so many working poor and people who have worked all their lives that for one reason or another lost their job because either the company went down or they had a health issue and they had to quit work where they lost their insurance, and this would help them. And it is an estimated 178,000 to 228,000 people could sign up on this, and would it cost the taxpayers of Tennessee absolutely nothing. Now in 2018, 2019, it was going to 90/10, but it was so important to the hospitals, the doctors, all of the healthcare people, and the people who don't have insurance, that the Hospital Association was going to pick up the other 10% to 2021. So this is a free program, and everybody said, well, the giveaway. It is not a giveaway program. You had to earn it. It's just like the exchange, the Obamacare, you call it.
Right.
You had to file, to be able to participate on that, you had to file income tax and had to make $12,000 or more a year to even participate.
Yeah.
But this is not a giveaway program. Then we get into education. I mean, you know, during the current administration's thing, they've with the teachers.
Well, everybody locally, Bob, knows that the BEP funding has gone down year after year after year. The locals we have to bring it up and match more and more each year. You know, something on the
and some of this is handled down from the feds, but some of it's statewide.
Yeah.
My own opinion is I think they ought to teach, and the test will take care of themselves.
Right.
Okay. But we need to give our teachers the security, the pay, You know, they've
The
not had
security that was taken away in the last 2 or
the
3 years.
security, yeah.
We were talking about that earlier.
The
There's-
tenure.
The tenure was
Yeah.
taken away from them.
Tenure, security, and you know, police officers, firemen, and teachers are the most underpaid profession in the world.
Absolutely.
We are giving our future to our teachers, and we want to pay them $30,000 to $40,000, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, they
anything I can do, I'm just one person, but I'm going to raise issues, and I'm not a very quiet person, so I will holler sometimes and to get attention. But
Apparently you did that last night.
yeah, we did. But I have friends in Nashville, and I've already have contacts, and so matter of fact, the new lieutenant governor is a pharmacist. Randy McNally is a pharmacist. So we have.
Did he get elected? I know he's running.
Well,
Has that happened yet?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I think he's the only one that is running now.
I believe you're right. Yes.
So he's going to be a pharmacist. So you know, we know him well. So
Right.
So I'm going to have some connections.
So that'll be a benefit to Campbell County.
It will. And look at the things that's been taken away just from Campbell County. We no longer have a driver's license building here. You have to go to Clinton to take your test. Our children has to go to Knoxville.
Or further.
Or further. You have to go to Knoxville to take the driving
We
test.
had to go to Roane County.
Wrong County.
My youngest boy, 3 years ago, we had to take him to Roane County.
Now, my understanding, we have that $75 million rainy day fund, what they want to call it. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, every county needs a place for our children to get a driver's license.
Right.
If you can drive to Knoxville, they should automatically give you the license. I mean, you're in that traffic. So, you know, I've got a granddaughter who's about to get her license, and she's got to go to Knoxville. We may end up going to Roane County, too, but this is not right.
Yeah, it's not right.
And we lost our ag person, you know. Now we have to go, the farmers in here has to go to Clinton, or they have to come up to Clinton. They don't see them as often.
Right.
And it's divided between 3 or 4 counties, and it's not correct. And I want to try to resolve some of these problems, just the
Right.
little ones that makes your day a little bit better. I can only do that, but I can try to make everybody's day a little bit better.
Right.
And as I said,
And it'll be a process fighting these things.
well, you know, I can compromise and do
Yeah.
things. I'm a person who can compromise across the aisle to get things done. But as long as I get it for my 36th district.
Well, what I'm saying is, when you go in there 6 months later, these things ain't just going to show up.
Well, we'll see.
It's going to
We can pray a lot on this, okay?
let's go ahead and take this call.
Okay.
You're on the air.
Hey, Bob, how about on the license and the driver license down there? Have to go to Clinton to make it.
Well, I'm going to try, if elected, to get it back. With the building is still being used by the Highway Patrol.
It is.
And so I'm going to try to get it back here, okay? I'm going to do my best to get a law passed that every county needs.
An address to the other state representative that ain't never been even mentioned.
Well, I mean, he did. He may have fought, but I didn't hear him fight.
I didn't hear it either.
So
I sure didn't either.
but we need to get it back. Okay.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate it.
All right, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
But
Folks, forgive me for coughing a little bit. The allergies are still killing me, so I'm trying to do the best I can. So,
See, you just don't go to Riggs Drug enough.
is that what it is?
We have allergy medicine, you know, on the counter. It's an allergy time.
Hey, I called Bob. I was in Chattanooga. So most of you folks know I work in Chattanooga. I called Bob, it was about 3 weeks ago. And I said, what do I need to take for this? And he told me what to get. And I went to the counter like you told me. They put me through all kinds of driver's license check and everything.
Well,
Buddy, I've never seen such thing. I didn't, you know, the pseudoephedrines and all that.
Yeah,
I didn't know you have to go through all that to
Yeah.
get that stuff.
you have to go and, you know, but
It's a process.
Yeah, but it still doesn't. It still probably doesn't. Didn't help you immediately, but
It took a while.
It took a while.
I took those pills for, 2 weeks about. 2 weeks. Let's we've got another call here.
Okay.
You're on the air?
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, do you have your TV on? Turn it down.
I don't have it on.
Okay, maybe it's here I'm hearing a background.
Okay.
How can we help you?
Well, I'm just calling really to say that it appears that with Powers, this county and surrounding counties we're losers. We've lost everything. We've lost our jobs. It's pretty obvious that A&S Steel and other industries have left here, when overall throughout Tennessee, all our surrounding counties have been able to obtain and get new jobs, but under Mr. Powers, he just hasn't worked to bring them here. As Mr. Fannin just said, as I listened to you, we've lost our driver's license plates, we've lost our agriculture man. It kind of looks like Anderson County's kicking our butt.
They're definitely doing that.
Sir?
They're definitely doing that. I agree with you.
Well, it's pretty obvious that they got much better representation than we have today.
Yeah, all it takes is good leadership.
And I'm with you.
And what party you serve on, people just wants good leadership.
They just want a good.
And I'm not beholden to any party. I'm not beholden to anyone except the people of the 36th district.
Well, all people want somebody to represent them properly, and we don't. In my opinion, we don't have that right now.
No, and the gentleman was correct with all the jobs we've lost, and we have to coordinate it with our county mayors, and I'll be meeting with all of them.
Yeah.
And I will work with them as much as I can, and try to, if I see something may come into Tennessee, I will try to get them into Campbell County.
Right.
And then they have to sell themselves,
Yeah.
okay? But I will get them here, and I will help all I can.
Get them in the door.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
But I will fight.
Yeah.
I mean, last night, you can, if you listen to the city council last night, I will fight for the people.
We're going to get to that in a little bit, folks. I promise you. Is there anything else, sir?
Well, it's just obvious. I think we've had no representation, and Mr. Powers, a good friend of mine. I play golf with him and stuff, and he and I have made this decision. He's a little out in left field, way beyond me. He's a good person. I don't deny that. He's a great person, but his interest is for his own benefit and his party's benefit instead of being for the people of this district.
His interest, in my opinion, is rising up in the party hierarchy in Nashville. That's it.
Well, his goal is to be somebody in the Republican Party,
right,
and he has acquired that. But in order for him to do that, he has forsaken his district.
I agree. 100%. I agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, buddy. You're on the air.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Hey, how are you?
I'm a Republican, but I'll proudly vote for you, Bob.
Well, I appreciate that. There is no party lines with me. I'm a Campbell Countyan who's going to help not only Campbell County, but I'm going to help Union County and part of Anderson County. And I've proven that I can get stuff done, okay? So with the work that I've been doing with the drugstore, plus being on the city council, okay? So, and as I said, I do have some contacts in Nashville, and I won't be left alone down there.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to have some supporters down that way too.
When he gets to Nashville, he's going to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you'll at least try. And Dennis Paris has not even tried.
Excuse me.
If anybody can think of one thing he's done for Campbell County, I'd appreciate it if they'd let the people know.
We ask that question about every week, and nobody ever calls and gives an answer, do they?
Nobody. I'd like to know just one thing. And I believe Bob will. I know he can't do everything, but at least try.
Well, I'm not very good with speech making. I'm not very good cutting ribbons and kissing babies. I'm a doer, okay? And I will do the best. Every day I'll get up and be thankful I can do the best I can for the people here in this county and in Union County.
I believe you will. That's what the people need.
Okay, I'll fight for you every day. Okay?
Okay. Hey, I appreciate that, Bob.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. Now, I tell you one thing I'm looking forward to during the campaign, Bob.
What's that?
Everybody has one of these big to-dos where they have good feed on, and but I'm looking forward to some of that.
Well, I haven't even got that far
I
yet.
know.
But I have thought about the 4th of July and how I'm going to, I don't have a big family. I've got my brother Bill, and he lives in Tazewell. And he can't vote for me, but my wife has a big family,
right.
And I was thinking about it. I was coming back from Union County today, and I was thinking about how am I going to cover the 4th of July with all the events that happens in every county. But Rita's got a tremendously. I mean, you have to wear name tags. You go to a reunion, you wear name tags.
Yeah.
So
you can get it covered.
I think we can get it covered.
Get it covered.
Yeah.
I don't think Alan can help you out, can you?
No, Alan's a good man. Alan's a good guy. So
you don't think he'll hit the campaign trail for you?
Well, I hope so.
I think he will. That's why I'm saying he'll cover some of that for you.
Well, yeah. Rita has 9 brothers and sisters, and all the nieces and nephews in the world.
Every door that's open, they can find it.
There's a few of them that has gone through my doors where I've allowed them to work for me temporarily while they're in school.
Yeah.
They'll be called on.
They'll be called. Some of those favors are going to be brought back.
The Shepherds and Gilliams, they're all together.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sized family.
That's what I was thinking of right there. So there you go. So, but folks, any questions you have for Bob about any anything that he's got. We've talked about several ideas that he's got that he wants to work on when he gets to Nashville. The biggest one to me, and this is the reason I decided to support Bob, is I've said it before and I want to say it again, make you understand. It's not a Republican or Democrat thing for me. It's a Campbell County issue. Okay. Now Union County, I know he represents them, and I hope he does well over there, but I don't care. Anderson County, I know we represent them. I don't care.
Just a small portion.
It's just a small portion. I care what happens here in Campbell County, and I think Bob is man enough to go down there and get something done for Campbell County, because ain't nothing happening now. That's me. But
I will work with the local, the county people, and I know plenty of them. I know plenty of them. Okay.
Yeah. You're on the air.
Hey, I have a question for Bob.
Okay.
So, if he falls as a Democrat, how come he keeps saying that there's no party line?
Well, my father brought me up, my brother and I up as Southern Democrats. A Southern Democrat now, you never hear that anymore. We're in the middle of the road. In the last 5-6 years, I probably voted for more Republicans. They were closer to my ideals than Democrats. So I'm a Southern Democrat, which means
conservative.
I'm very conservative, and as I get older, I get more conservative. But
and trust me, one of these days you'll find that out.
Hey, everybody finds it out.
Everybody finds that out. The older you get, the more conservative you tend to get.
I was raised to be a Democrat, but over the periods of 40 years, the Democrat Party has changed so much. I mean, Bernie and they're all so far over here. I don't know what I could do with that. So the first choice, I don't think he's going to get elected, but the first choice for my presidential candidate for a president is a Republican, but I don't think he's going to get the nomination. But my second choice may be a Democrat. I don't know. I'm going to have to wait to the general election.
See what happens there.
But
what happens, ma'am? I don't know if you know, but what happens if you want to be a good public servant? Okay, you're required by law to file either a Republican or a Democrat to run. You just don't have any choice.
You could do independent.
Could you do an independent?
Sure.
Well, most time, but you have to file something. Okay, but what happens? I mean, if you're going to be a good public servant, you have to work with everybody. You can't just work. You can't say, "Hey, I'm going to work with the Democrats" or "I'm going to work with the Republicans only." It just you don't get good servitude that way.
When I work with anybody from the city or in the state level or anything, I don't ask whether they're Democrats or Republicans.
Right.
I just was curious because I thought it was interesting that you just kept mentioning that and then mentioning the no party line. So I was just curious. I mean, I'm very familiar with the voting and everything. I've worked in elections and
Yes.
I actually vote every year. It's something that I pride myself in, and I'm glad that we had that opportunity to do that in this country. And I just thought it was a great question to ask someone.
Well, I mean, and nobody should vote straight party lines anymore. That's the way I believe. There's some good Democrats and there's some good Republicans. And to tell you the truth, the condition our state is in and the condition our country is in, I don't think we've done very well voting for our congressmen or our representatives or our state senators. Listen, I voted for our congressman, Mr. Fleischman, and I just don't know if I can anymore. I mean,
See, that's funny. You voted for him. I didn't.
Well, I did, and
I didn't.
But if to turn this country around, we're going to have to start electing the person who's going to do the job, and we're going to, and even though it may be a conservative ideal or a liberal ideal, I hate those two words, but you've got to come across to the people that you for them and I am for you all, and there's no such thing as party lines in this stuff anymore, in being a Democrat or a Republican, but running for a state representative that only represents 2.5 counties. And
you see what
you just got to go up there and roll up your sleeves and get something done for those counties. I love the state of Tennessee. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but I can't do for Memphis or Nashville or Knoxville or Chattanooga. I've got to do for us. Does that make anything? I want to bring it to here. I want to bring the things here. It's about time we got something, don't you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I just think if you label yourself as a Democrat, you should own it.
If you'll see it on the ballot, it says Democrat. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank
I'm a diehard Republican, so have a great evening.
Okay.
Thank you. We got this. You're on the air.
The way I look at it, I think if somebody's going to run for an office, they need to know, what the counties they cover. It does not cover all of Union County. It covers about half of Union County.
Well, it covers up to the bridge. It covers all the way up to the bridge, which I go to. Okay, and so it's a very small part that it goes into Tazewell and up into Hancock County and then comes all the way back around to Powell Valley. Yeah. So it's a very small part. Okay.
You see it cover the whole county, but it don't.
Well, I mean, it's about like Anderson County. You're covering about 3,000 people, and there's in that area right there that's not covered that comes into the Claiborne County and Hancock County area. There's about 1,800 to 2,000 people live there. Okay, homes there.
Yeah.
Well, you go to the bridge. I was raised up there. When I go to the bridge, it's in Union County, but I always thought that was Claiborne County because when you went to the 33
I always
bridge,
thought when you pass that bridge that you go to Claiborne County, but it's not.
It's not. It's still 10, 15 miles down the road. Okay?
Thank you, buddy. You're on the air.
Well, where I look at it, Bob, they need to drop the party line and vote for the man that will do the best job.
Well, I really believe that.
And I seriously believe you be the best for us.
I really believe that I'll start out as an underdog because of that. But people, when they get to know me, they know that I'm just Bob. I'm just Dr. Bob, and that's it. And they'll get to know me that way, and I'll make sure. Even the little lady that said that she was a Republican.
Yeah.
I hope she sounded young.
She sounded young,
and I hope she learns as she gets older that hey, sometimes you vote for you learn to vote for the
Well, I mean, we know this for fact, and you're not saying this is me saying this. We know for fact it's been proven the last 2 or 3 local elections on county commission. We're voting for people we're putting people in just because we know them, they're friends and all that. We obviously see that ain't working, okay? We need to put people in we think, well, I preached it, you know that. We need to put people in we think can do a good job, and I think Bob Fanning can do a good job.
I do too. And I'll tell you what, people need to get behind him and support him in Campbell County.
Well, you know, I have a following, and we'll go from there and try to increase it. Okay, I've got to get Rita's brothers and sisters vote for me, and once I get that, then
that's a good start.
That's a good start. Okay,
that'll be a good head start.
Yes, sir.
That's a good start. Well, you know, R.L. Gibson did a poll the other night. And what was it, 37-2 or something like that?
I don't know.
He did a poll on here. Although I was in Chattanooga, I got to watch some of the streaming. It messed up about the last 30 minutes. And did you watch the show?
Yeah, it was way up there.
It was about 37-1 or 2, I believe it was, for Bob.
For Powers, and the rest of them was for Bob.
Yeah. So it was quite one-sided.
Yeah, it sure was.
So
we need somebody in there that will help the county and pull for the people here that's in this area, and the one that he covers, the district that he covers. That's what we need, somebody that will work for it instead of. We don't need another name puller down there. Now we don't.
Right. Well, and that's why I've said I've went to Bob for 2 months now. Trying to get him to run. Some other people have too, and he was considering it. And I've been, I've been advertising on here. Hopefully the person I'm trying to get on here will come on here. And,
I remember I said, I told you that they ought to try to get Bob Fanning. You said been trying to get on here.
Well, and I couldn't really say anything because I mean it's a tough decision.
Yeah.
It is. You have to have your family back.
Yeah, it's a tough decision.
Because your wife is pulling into this
stuff. Well, we can make it good and great. Y'all have a good show there.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, and you have to have not only your wife and their family. You got to get your brother.
Yeah.
And everybody into it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
You're on the air.
Hey, Jerry.
Yes,
I'm happy for Bob, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you heard anything that's going on at the high school about shooting tomorrow?
I know. I talked to Aaron Evans, the chief deputy, about 5:30, 6 o'clock. They've heard the rumors. They've been investigating. They've got people looking at it. And as far as I know, the last I heard, about 15 minutes before we came on the show, school is still in. When you get these whack jobs that put these threats out there, there's nothing you can do about something. You try to find out who said it so you can hold them to task on that. But as far as what they're doing they're making threats at the school, there really ain't a lot you can say about it. There's not a lot you can do. If people are going to say something stupid like that, they're just going to say it. It's like me and Bob talked earlier about folks calling this show. If you go ahead and blurt something out, there's nothing I can do about that other than hang up on you as soon as you do it, But if people are going to say something stupid, they're going to say it, But you can only guard it the best you can guard. There's, 1,500-1,600 students go to that school.
Yeah, but with technology we got now, they'll run it down.
Yeah, they'll run it down. But you can't stop it from happening.
No.
The threat I'm talking about, you can't stop the threat. You can't stop somebody from saying something like that, So I can assure you, I would say every police department we've got, at least on the lower end, is involved in working on this threat that supposedly is floating around. I did see the threat. Yes, I did.
Well, don't you think the school would stop kids from coming down there if this was the truth tomorrow?
How would they know it's the truth?
Well, I don't know. My granddaughter goes to high school, and she's been reading all this text.
Right.
And she's scared to death.
And I understand that, but you could look at it. Somebody could do this every single day, and we'd never go back to school on that basis. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard call. It really is. It's a very difficult call. I'm sure Mr. Nidifer's down there pulling his hair out. you know, and it's a very difficult thing to do. But every time somebody does something like this, you can't just up and call school off because you'd never go back to school.
That's what I keep telling her, and she won't listen to me. She only listens.
And I can assure you they'll probably have extra security at the school tomorrow.
And if they think it's a viable threat, Robbie will make will make the right decision.
They'll make that right decision, you know. But I can promise you, I talked to Aaron Evans. They're checking it out.
Okay, thanks a bunch, bud.
Thank you. But Bob, that'd be just like somebody walking in your door down at the store and making some kind of threat. As they walk in the door and make a threat, there ain't nothing you can do about that. Just try to stop them when they, you know.
You do the best you can. You train your employees and you do the best you can.
There you go. Here we go. This is him. You're on the air.
Bob?
Yes.
You and your brother Bill that I know of personally, so many children to go to college that I want to tell you that I'll be for you in any way in the God's world that the Klan can help you with. But now, I've never known nobody except the children, and I've had it said to tell me, if it hadn't been for Bob and Bill Fannin, I could have not got into LMU to got my education. And that's something that everybody's got a child going to school needs to know about. And Jerry, I left you a letter over at the...
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I'm going to do some research into this because I don't have a clue what it's about.
Well, I'll tell you what it's about. If you raise the garden this year, you're going to pay $250, plus you're going to pay $100 for talking to the lady.
Oh, okay.
And she informed me that my legislation from Campbell County that he was the sponsor to get that thing through.
It's his committee.
My local boys, we've been...
Now, hold it. Slow down a minute.
Now,
if you're doing a garden, you got to pay a $250 fee to have a garden?
Open up the envelope and look at it. I highlighted it in colored where you wouldn't misread it or misscrew it.
Okay.
It's there. Then you pay, the lady told me you'd pay $100 for talking to her. It's in there. It's, I've never in my whole 80 years of life seen anything like this. Thank you two fine gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I read that last night, and I didn't know if it was so many square feet. I couldn't understand the way they got it out. But Dennis's name is on there. Well, he's on the agricultural committee that brought it out.
So if it's greater than 1 acre or less than 5?
Yes.
And you want to do a garden?
Well, you know, and
there's a permit fee for doing a garden? Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's for larger parcels now. Okay.
Well, so, yeah, I mean,
if
1 acre.
If you do a few tomatoes around your house or something.
Right, you're okay.
Yes.
But apparently, if you have a property of greater than 1 acre but less than 5,
which is a lot of people do.
A lot of people do that. A lot of folks do that. It's a $250 fee.
That's like them spending a week to see if they can make skunks pets.
Yeah, what's the purpose of this?
I don't know.
I'm going to do some studying on this. It's so this is something that Mr. Powers apparently has. That caller got a notice of violation. I see. Okay. I've got to do some. The caller brought me these documents on this, folks. I found it when I got here. I didn't really have time to look over it. But apparently, if you're going to raise a garden on an acre or so, the state legislature has decided to charge you.
That's what it said.
To raise a garden.
I saw that.
I mean, I can think back.
I thought the skunk for a pet was stupid.
Yeah, I don't. That skunk for a pet was crazy. That reminds you of the roadkill Senator Tim, who's the county mayor over in Knoxville. But I think of my dear old grandmother. She had a garden forever. she made me work that garden when I was a kid. Oh gosh, I hated that. She'd wake me up and say, "We got to go get them potatoes fixed or cleaned up or something." But my dear old grandmother loved to work in the garden, and they'd been charging her because she liked to work in the garden here. This is crazy.
Well, if it's more than that much,
she had a pretty good sized garden up there.
I can remember in the spring when I would come home from school. I'd walk home from school, and I can remember when I heard the plow and the tractor. Oh, I hated it. I mean, I loved eating food.
Yeah.
And we would have to pay. Yeah. Well, my father just dug up the whole backyard, and it was more than an acre. Okay, so it was several acres. We'd probably pay.
I'm not sure how big it was, but my Uncle Terry and Aunt Shirley up the valley up there, you know them.
Sure.
She had that garden up there on that little piece of property.
It's 1 acre.
It was. She had a pretty good sized garden. To think that my grandmother would have had to pay this, that's just because she loved raising the garden and working the garden.
I read that yesterday, and I didn't.
I wasn't aware of this.
I was going to call someone and get some verification on that, and couldn't.
Well, I'm going to do some research on this, folks. Apparently, this person who called is received a violation. That he's it's what it says is a notice of violation is what it is.
Yeah, I saw that.
That he's apparently had him a garden, and he's gonna have to pay a fine.
I didn't see what location it was.
Stinking Creek.
Stinking Creek.
Stinking Creek. So, well, that's just nuts. That's just nuts, So, I mean, if Mom and Pop decide to raise a garden out there, I can remember
community gardens. Can you remember those? And they were 2 or 3 acres.
Yeah, and little neighborhood gardens, and that's
where the whole neighborhood chipped in, and they come over and work it and everything.
And the thing about it is, folks, again, this is where I'm a member of I'm a Republican Party person. Okay, the Republican Party has had control of the legislature for, I think, 8 years now. They're the ones that did this, okay? They're the ones that did this. I'm not in agreement with this. What I read right here, I'm not in agreement with this, and apparently, according to that caller, Mr. Powers was one of the sponsors of the bill that set this up. That, us folks in Campbell County, this is no good for you. This is not good for you. I don't know what the purpose behind this was, but this is not good for Campbell County.
But we have a $75 million rainy day fund.
Yeah, we got it. No. Apparently, they want to take a little more just off the backs of the little mom and dad out growing their corn.
Yes.
You're on the air.
Hey, I'm just out in my garden today.
Yeah.
Should I not plant? Did I understand you to say that if the garden is more than 1 acre, or if you own more than 1 acre?
I think if the garden, I haven't read this, okay?
I'm pretty sure if the garden is more than 1 acre.
I'm guessing that's what it is. If the garden is more than 1 acre but less than 5, you have to pay $250 for the privilege of having that garden.
Okay. Does that documentation you have in front of you, does it have the state law on that? I'd like to look it up if you have a reference to it.
Since this I think was passed last year, so I don't have this.
Okay. Look up. This was passed last year, but they reference. I'll have to read this. There's a reference to the Tennessee Water Quality Control Act of 1977.
Okay.
But now they're making you get some kind of permit now to go along with that.
If I was you, I'd go ahead and plant my garden, okay?
The worst you can do is and this comes by certified mail. This is a certified mail that this caller got, that he owes a fine.
And he's in Campbell County too, right?
Yes, I know the caller. He's from Campbell County.
Okay.
I'll try to find the law, but by next week I will have enough information to hopefully give you some intelligent conversation on this.
Okay.
Or Bob, you're going to be on RL Show Monday?
Yes, I'll.
You want to?
If I don't have it, I'll give it to you.
Bob's going to be on RL Show Monday night. He may be able to find some of this by then.
Yeah.
I don't see the state law on there.
I thought I saw it.
I didn't see it.
But it's
I'll
not
go
there.
on. I'll go on there.
No, that's not it.
I can confined on it, but apparently the law will already been enacted, or they wouldn't be sending him a violation.
Oh yes, it says it's a notice of violation. They sent him a certified letter.
Okay.
So that's crazy. I didn't know that was out there.
Hey, you tell Bob that Ron Ramsey is not going to run next year.
No, it's going to be Randy McNally, and he's a pharmacist from Oak Ridge, and he's going to be. I think he is very well qualified. Been there for a while. He knows the ins and outs, and I think you'll be very proud of Randy McNally. Okay.
Okay. I also hear they're pushing that nicely over at Knoxville.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Randy, what I heard today, I was in Anderson County also today. I'm pretty sure that Randy has the votes to get it. Okay.
Okay. So, hey, dude, I'll let you go. But do you ever watch on that Anderson County TV network the rebroadcast of those sessions they have down at Nashville?
Yeah, it's on 256 or so on Comcast. I watch it some. Yes.
Yeah, I get it on 95.
You get the committee. You get the committee. You don't have you get a lot of committee reports and stuff right there.
Well, you watch them take the vote and they discuss all these, but it's just like watching the U.S. Senate, U.S. House when they vote. It's party lines all the way.
Well, I don't, I don't think it has been this year on a lot of.
You ought to be watching it. I'm retired, so I watch the U.S. House. I watch the Senate.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Well, now on the national level, see, I was going to say that a few minutes ago when that one lady called and she was talking about the Republican Democrat. The national level.
It's different.
They stay within the party lines so much. It's what's killing this country.
That's what's killing.
They won't compromise. One side won't compromise the other, and each side blames the other because they won't compromise. But neither side's compromising. It's like I told Bob a little while ago. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch any of that because whatever story they're talking about, CNN's going to see it one way. Fox is going to see it another way. Who knows what the truth is in between? So I guarantee you're not getting the proper story.
Well, Randy McNally, I know of 3 or 4 bills that he did for pharmacy.
Yeah.
He's a Republican. If I was down there, I would vote with that. You understand? Because all of it was common sense legislation. So I would vote for that stuff. And and it benefited everyone, and it benefited a lot of people in this Campbell County. I would vote for. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't vote. A good idea is a good idea, whether it's a Democratic or a Republican idea. Okay, so I'm going to vote for good ideas.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
If you should get elected and go down to Nashville, there is one thing that I'd like you to put in the back of your mind to look into, and that is why, when we vote in a primary election, that we can either only vote for a Democrat or vote Republican. We can't cross lines. I know a lot of states, they let you cross lines, but Tennessee's got this law that will not let you, if you're a Republican, you got to vote Republican.
No, I think you can. I have voted in a Republican primary before.
I think what he's saying is at the primary, you can't vote for a Republican and a Democrat, not at the primary.
You have to choose. I mean, you either vote in the Republican primary or the Democratic primary, but you can't go into to vote for this person in the Republican primary and this person in the Democrat. You can't do that.
But in Tennessee, you're not registered as a Republican or a Democrat.
No. But here's what I'm saying. When I go in to vote in a primary election, they say you're going to vote Republican, you're going to vote Democrat.
Right.
So they only call up the people that are Republicans if I'm a Republican or a Democrat.
Right.
Now, there are some of those elections I like to vote for a Democrat. I'm a Republican, a Republican, but I like to vote for a Democrat.
Well, what's happening, and this is happening national too, a lot of people who are independents and Democrats or Republicans are voting for Trump or Kasich or Cruz to sway the vote.
Try to keep somebody else from winning.
Keep somebody else from winning. So,
Yeah.
but you have to make a choice. This year I had to make a choice if I'm going to vote in a Republican primary, a Democratic primary, and you're only going to vote in one. But you got everybody this year was running. It was just a presidential.
And unfortunately, it's just one of those things where it may not sound right to you, but it's until we find something better, it's the best way we have to decide who gets to run against who in the general election.
If there's 3 or 4 Democrats running for this office and 2 or 3 Republicans running for Mr. Powers' Republican office, then the winner of the primary will then meet in general election in November. The primary will be held in August, and then the general election will be held the same day the president is elected.
And,
okay?
it, like I said, it's just the best way right now we figured out to do it, to get from the primary to the general election.
You know, our forefathers wasn't. They was pretty smart about that.
Yeah, this what I'm saying, there's a lot of states that let you cross over if you want to cross over.
Yeah, I don't know of any of them.
I'm going to hang up and listen to you all, okay?
Okay, thank you, buddy. You're on the air.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Bob, I am really thankful that you're going to be running. Really thankful, and I guess I have talked to about 75 people since that came out Monday night, and every one of them are going to be back again.
Well, I need all the support I get. I'm going to be an underdog, I'm sure, okay? So we'll go from there, all right?
We'll be right in there helping you.
I appreciate you very much, okay? I won't let you down, I promise.
Oh, I know that. Jerry, another thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you hear anything about the court hearing today?
I did. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just being straight. I'm not at liberty to talk about it.
Oh, you're not?
I did hear, but it's just right now at this time, I'm not at liberty to talk about it. And this is a court thing, okay? This is, you know me. I'd tell you if I could.
Yeah.
There'll be some things probably come out in the news, but because I'm involved in it, I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure been a praying about that.
Well, I will go as far as to say this. From what I understand, Mr. Slusher's part in both of these lawsuits is over.
Good.
Okay, that's what I understand. But I'm just anything beyond that. I probably shouldn't have said that, but that's what I understand.
Well, yours is going to be taken care of too.
Okay, I appreciate it, ma'am.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, if that phone don't, well, I was going to say if it didn't ring, Bob, I want to hit this City of La Follette thing real quick, but
yeah, it was something else.
You're on the air.
How you doing?
Doing good.
I was going to let you know you got my support 100%, and I'm going to get as many young people as I can registered and give them a vote for you.
I appreciate that.
And I'll be to see you in a few days.
All right. I'll be waiting for you, okay?
All right.
All righty.
Thank you, buddy. Bob, you want to hit this City of La Follette thing real quick? We got about 5 minutes. One thing I read was that you were real adamant telling these folks, and I'm not going to mention who it is, but telling these folks, if you've got something to say to an employee, supervisor, or anything, go through the city administrator, okay? Mr. Slusher and I said on this TV show, probably 6-8 months ago, when we read the City of La Follette's charter, and I brought it back up, okay, that the mayor and council people, if the charter says, if you have anything to say to anybody, you go to the city administrator. Do not go to an employee. Don't go to a supervisor. I read a document. I didn't went to the meeting, but according to what I read on WLAF, the mayor said he's the supervisor over everybody. Well, the charter doesn't say that. The charter specifically says duties of the city administrator. It shall be the duty of the administrator to supervise and coordinate all administrative activities of the affairs of the city under the city council. Okay, he works for the city council. It's a chain of command. City council and the mayor, they got anything they want to say to anybody, they go to Mr. Jeffries.
Yes.
Mr. Jeffries takes it further down the line.
Well, I mean,
that's charter. That's their charter.
We're going to talk about compromise and everything. For 2 years, we've had very little, except for one incident. You know, we've had very little commotion down there.
Right.
Okay. But last night, I didn't see this coming because we've been talking about this. I mean, we've been talking about these things in workshops.
Right.
And I didn't get adamant last night. At the workshop on Monday week, I very kindly and very softly spoke and said, let's go by the rules of the thing. And what happened is several employees who came to me and said, listen, I'm in a pickle. The mayor has told me to go over here and do this, and my supervisor didn't even know where I'm at.
Right.
And so I kindly asked, let's put an end to this. And last night at the meeting, he went into a rage. So
I noticed from
Mr. Stanfield went into a rage, and you know, and none of the councilmen, including Mr. Bollinger, I don't think any of us saw this coming. And so there was other things we had to do, but well, you know, as I said, you know, I'll still vote my vote, and we'll still go.
And I think the world of Mike Stanfield. I really do, folks. I consider him a friend, and I support him for whatever.
Unfortunately,
the charter says what it says.
What it says, and I think Mike's done a pretty good job as mayor. I've told everybody that.
Yeah.
But if he continues to think what he's got in his mind,
right,
I am sure there's going to be 3 or 4 councilmen challenging.
Well, and the thing I think is, let's say the mayor or a council member, anybody, goes and brings 2 or 3 employees off of their duties and say, hey, I need you to come over here and do this. One of those people gets hurt, they're going to sue the heck out of you because you're in the wrong.
Yep,
you're just in the wrong because the charter says don't do that.
I can guarantee you that I hope Mike comes around and understands what he did and backs off and apologizes to Ms. Thompson, to me, and to Mr. Hatmaker. And if not, we continue to do business as business.
I wonder if somebody video recorded that. I'd like to watch it.
It was on TV, I'm sure.
Oh, was it? You're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question for Bob. Bob, you said that you go by the rules and regulations of the charter.
Well, I mean, you know, as best you can. Yes, as much as I can. Yes.
You don't.
I don't.
No.
Okay, what did I do?
The mayor and the city council does.
I didn't hear it. Somebody texted me. What did you say?
I didn't hear you either. I'm sorry.
You do not go by the rules because you and the councilman and the mayor sit down there and told me and my husband that we had to have our property quartered before we could build. That was for everybody in Campbell County. It is not for everybody in Campbell County.
No, I think...
they're only over the city.
We're just over the city, Miss Edmond.
We're in the city.
Well, I said we're only over in the city. I didn't...
That's right.
I'm sure that Stan Faust didn't tell you that everybody... He's only in the city. That everybody has to core drill in the county or Jellicoe or Caryville or Jacksboro or anything like that. But...
Why did not core drill? There's a hair salon going up down there. The girl said she go to court and testify that she did not have her property core drilled.
But, you know, the other thing that you could do is get an engineer, and she may have done this.
But they had the state to come in. The state said they found no problem. I was called a liar right down there in the city council meeting. We brought the letter down there to you all, and the answer was still no.
You know,
I want to ask you a question.
You sit down there, Bob, yourself. You sit down there yourself.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why are you so opposed to getting that property core drilled?
It costs $5,000.
Bob, don't everybody else in Campbell County got to go by the rules?
I'm not asking everybody else in Campbell County. I'm asking you. Why are you so opposed to getting that property core drilled?
Will you give me $7,000 to have it done? Bob Bannon sat down and told us that
it cost him $500, and then he.
No, I said $3,750. Now I said it cost it, but it was 8-10 years before that. But I got a core drill for.
That, Bob, you did not say that.
It was $3,750.
Where you lied. You got right down off of the stand, and you looked at me and my husband in the face, and you said, I never, he looked at you, he said, why don't you get the cord for your property? I never had it done. And you said right up there, and you told us both that you did.
I did core drill a piece of property.
A lie. God in heaven knows that you told it.
Well,
he told me he had his property core drilled. We talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, we were going to put
It's built on down there.
Hey, we didn't get a build. Let's put it that. I was turned down, okay? I did not get the build, okay?
You had a core drill?
Yeah, but I was turned down because
Gas station didn't core drill. Wassels didn't core drill. The man that's opening up that car lot down there, and the thing of it is, we're approved.
Hold just a second.
We're already approved for it.
If you had it, you'd been building.
You'd be building.
The way that you're going to run the 36th district.
Thank you. I got another call. You're on the air.
Thank you. Yeah. You're on the air.
See ya, boy. You can't argue with crazy people.
Okay, thank you, buddy. So, I've discussed this core drill thing with Bob. Bob had his property core drilled. So,
yeah, we had to have it.
And didn't get approved,
but it's 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, okay. So, Honeybee, we about done? Yeah. Bob, I appreciate you coming.
Well,
and
I
folks,
appreciate you letting me announce that I was running for.
We're behind Bob 100%, and we hope you are too. We appreciate you and see you next week.